Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, I just couldn't get off this cruise ship. I'm still in the middle of my Celebrity Millennium cruise, but I just had to talk about some of the fantastic people I've met on this ship. So first off, I've met numerous people, and I do want to say something right now. A lot of people come up to me now on the cruises as I'm being more and more recognized, which is so flattering. And they always say, do you mind if I take a photo with you? Do you mind if I get a picture? Let me stop you right now because the answer is always yes. I am so honored that anyone would ever want to take a picture with me that I will pose, I will do silly faces, I will do whatever you ask me within reason in those pictures. But yeah, so the answer is always going to be yes. So never ever be shy. You see me, you think it's me, go ahead and run up because if I turn around and say, get away, it's not me. You mistaken me for somebody else. So let's get that on right now. And I just wanted to talk about, first of all, let's talk about some of the crew members that I've met on board. The entertainment director, Steve. I don't know his last name because he always introduces himself and asks everybody, when you see me, say, hi, Steve, and that's his kind of his calling card. When he comes out on stage to announce one of the shows in the evening, he walks out and he goes, hi, everybody, and everyone goes, hi, Steve. So it's kind of his trademark. He's very nice. He's very pleasant. He greets people all the time. I see him outside the show. He's saying hi. He's saying, talking to people for long extended periods of time. He doesn't rush off and he's super friendly. So if you ever are the Celebrity Millennium and Steve is there, say hi. You won't regret it. He's a really, really nice gentleman. Also, the entertainers and the singers on this ship for the Broadway shows, there's usually three of them after every show will be at the exit when you're up walking and they're in their full costumes and they're saying thank you for coming and they're greeting people. It's little touches like that that are just really, really, kind of makes your cruise when they're there and they're in their costumes and you get to get up and they'll pose for pictures with you and they're very, very nice, very, very friendly. And I love it when the cruise lines do that, where they have people up there to greet you after the show. That's a really great selling point. Even if you walk down you said to yourself, well, that show was so-so, but then you see them and you're able to talk with them and you're able to pose with them, suddenly the next time you talk about the show, oh, it's really good. It's kind of a psychology work in there, but it really works, and I think it does add something to the atmosphere of a cruise ship when the cruise staff are willing to do stuff like that as well. Everybody also has been very, very polite. Everywhere I go, no matter where I am, everyone's very polite. Everyone's smiling all the time, whether I'm getting some toast in the buffet for breakfast, or I'm buying something in the shops, or I'm just walking around the ship and I'm running into cabin steward as I'm heading down to take in a seminar. Everyone's always, good morning, how are you? And I never have, you never feel like you're imposing on anybody, which is something you always want to do. So far, those are some really good points about all the staff and everybody working on the Celebrity Millennium. There's also a young lady on here who's one of the naturalists on the ship. Her name is Cecilia Garland, and she has been one of the most entertaining speakers I've heard on cruise ships in quite some time. She knows her stuff and she's very entertaining. It's more like she's having a conversation with you face to face than it is that she's giving a lecture. If you know how you'll go up and you'll see people and they'll stand at the podium and they'll basically stand at that podium and talk and they'll point things out. Not her. She's out in the front of the stage and she's walking back and she's forth and she's talking to people and every time she comes to that joke that she wants to say or that corny pun, she looks right out in the audience and she goes like this and she accents her point like this. So she's very, very fun, and I hope I get a chance to say that to her. I did make a joke about her in the buffet the other day. I was up in the buffet and I was talking to some friends, and here she comes. I see her off in the distance coming down, and as we're up there, I go, "Okay, wait." And as she got closer, and I said, "But yeah, oh, I really hated Celia's performance and her, like, I didn't like her at all." And she's going by, and she's going by, and you just like this, turned around, and then she saw the big smile on my face, and she knew I was kidding. And I made sure the next day that she knew I was kidding, because I did, but she took it very well, and she knew I was joking right away. She's, like I said, very easygoing person, and one of the best speakers I've heard in quite some time. And now let's talk about some of the passengers, because I have had a couple videos now where I talked about some rude passenger behaviors. Being drunk on the first day at 7 o'clock in the evening before we've even hardly left port. Being so drunk that you cannot stand without being escorted and helped. That's a bad thing. Taking all the food in the buffet when there's a lineup of 40 people and a fresh tray comes out, and you take basically that whole tray back to your table and leave everybody there waiting for more. That's bad behavior. But let's talk about the flip side of that. And the flip side of that is just getting to talk to people who are absolutely great, fun, and just inquisitive. And I would contact this right now into three categories for myself right now. There's the people who recognize me as and are subscribed to the channel. They know I'm on the cruise and they're watching out for me, and we talk, and it's always a great experience. And then there's those that are my movie people or the theater people, which is the people I meet because I'm sitting in the front row. And if you're sitting in the front row, chances are there'll be 2 or 3 or 4 other couples that are like you and want to be near that front row all the time. And we talk and we become friends. Now we're joking back and forth, and they're saying, "Move your big head, Don," because I'm always in the front row and they're behind me, and I keep, "Okay, is this good? Is this?" So you know what I mean? You just strike up that friendly bond and that friendly conversation, and you're talking to them for like 3-4 days. And then all of a sudden, somebody comes up and they recognize me and they say, "Hey, can I get your picture?" And so I stand up and I'm in the front of the theater, and we're posing for pictures, and then somebody else will come in and we pose for pictures again. And then they're looking at me like, "What was that all about?" And then I have to explain to them. And now I have new subscribers because, "Oh, I didn't know that." And then now they're subscribed. They find me right away on the channel, which is hilarious to say. And I say, "Now you got to leave nothing but nice comments because I was nice to you before you knew who I was." So those are those people. I have the theater people, and then I have the speaker people, because believe it or not, they tend to be different people. The people who show up at the first show in the theater don't necessarily come to hear the speakers. They might be doing something else. They might be up in trivia or something along those lines. Well, I have made some great friends watching the speakers, and we talk about Celia, we talk about all the other speakers that are there, we talk about, we had a gentleman whose nickname is Rockstar, and he was talking about Marilyn Monroe for 2 seminars, and it was fascinating. I love listening to the old Broadway stories and the theories behind it, and the intrigue, and the what really happened, and was there this and was there that, and all that stuff. And then we talk afterwards, and we became pretty close, and we now look for each other when we go to a speaker, and that because, oh, there he is, or there she is, and we'll go sit beside each other in this little group, and it's just fun. And that's what I kind of like always try and say to people. That's the best thing about cruising. It's a very friendly thing on the most cases. You can strike up conversations and friendships, and you may never talk to these people again, but you feel like you're lifelong friends. You felt like you've known them a long time because you're doing something that they have the same interest in right away. So you have that connection. You don't have to bring something like that up. Now, before I go too much further, I just have to talk about two new friends of mine that I also met on the ship. and some others. We met on the first night. They're subscribers to the channel, and we were talking. And it turns out they were going to the chef's table the same night I was, so we ended up having a chef's table together. When we started talking about shore excursions, lo and behold, they're on 2 of my 3 shore excursions as well. Actually 4 if you count Sitka. So 3 out of 4 of my shore excursions, they're doing the exact same one. It's such a coincidence. We never planned this. They didn't know because I never announced what shore excursions I'm doing. And now we've got 2 specialty restaurant meals that we plan to go and get together because we just kind of enjoy the company. We have a good time. We're talking. It's very friendly. They're a super nice couple. And last night, they're staying in a cabin a little better than mine. They're staying in one of the suites on board. And when I say suites, I mean I can fit like 4 or 5 of my cabins in the room. It's very, very nice. It has a big couch, a big 50, 60-inch screen TV, a full 8-person dining table, that kind of room on the ship. And they invited me to dinner last night, and I went up, and I met some other people up there as well, and we all just started talking about cruising. A lot of them know each other from Cruise Critic, where they'll go on the Cruise Critic boards. One gentleman was organizing a bunch of events through Cruise Critic. He's not working for them or anything like that, just through the boards, where they're doing games and gambling games and stuff like that, and cabin crawls and poker crawl, all these things. And it was just a lot of fun, and it was so much, it's kind of like we were all drawn there because of our particular interests and things about cruising. We all, in some way, just love cruising, and a lot of them are a big-time celebrity, as you can imagine. We're on celebrity cruises. So they're pretty loyal to celebrity, and so they were very inquisitive about some of the other cruise lines I've been on and which ones are comparable. And if I was to say which ones are kind of comparable right now, I'd have to say the most comparable obviously would be Princess. Princess and Celebrity would be very closely linked to each other. Royal would be very close, but it's another kind of cruise because they have the slides and they have all that stuff. Where Princess and Celebrity are basically, adult cruises, a mature cruise with lovely ships and good food and things like that. So I'll do a video on that and break that down a little bit later. But I just wanted to say thank you to everybody I've met on this cruise ship so far. I still have 5 days to go, but the internet is very sketchy. I hardly get on. And so I try and do as many videos as I can and put them up all at once if I can, because I can only get the 4 hours. I'm lucky if I can get a stretch of internet because we've had such bad weather on the cruise. So I just want you guys to still see some content and see how the trip's going. And I want you to know that it's not all bad. There's not all bad cruisers on this cruise ship. There are some amazing people, fantastic people, and I didn't want to bring anybody's names up on this because I didn't ask yet, but they know who they are when they watch the videos, and I am so appreciative that they've helped make this cruise even more memorable. And so I just want them to know how much I really appreciate and thank them for allowing me to tag along in some cases and inviting me to dinner and just making my experience in the theater and during the shows and during the speakers and just saying hi to me in the cruise ship. And please, 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 if you ever see me and you're wondering, is it okay to go up and say hi? Is it okay to ask for a picture? The answer right now is yes. Absolutely. Never even have a second thought. Because to me, it's the greatest compliment I could ever get because I still don't believe this is kind of happening. So yes, please do. Anywhere you see me, I don't care what I'm doing, stop me and say hi. So I hope you like this update. I hope you like this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. You want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world, and maybe the odd rant or two. Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.